Boston Ludlow alongside the NBA champion, Caron Butler, and it is the 4th of July. Were you expecting free agent fireworks?
Yeah, I was. I like that right there.
I know.
Perfect.
Had to. Well, Kawhi Leonard remains on the San Antonio Spurs roster despite demanding a trade. While Kawhi reportedly wants to be in Los Angeles, his team has explored trade offers in the Eastern Conference. He'll be an unrestricted free agent next summer, but where will he land this season? Where does he fit best? Could it be LA? Kawhi's representatives reportedly told the Spurs he'd like to sign with either the Lakers or the Clippers. He's won a championship and a Finals MVP against LeBron James. How do you think he could fit alongside him?
Look, he can be an asset wherever he chooses to go, wherever they allow him to go. But most importantly, if you see him next to a LeBron James in the Western Conference, they're immediate title contenders. Immediately. I'm talking about, like, it's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. LeBron, with the season that he had last season, carrying those guys, through the Eastern Conference, it was just amazing to see that. And to add a guy like a Kawhi Leonard to that mix, along with the talent that they do have on that roster in the locker room assembled, amazing.
Title contenders, not title favorites.
I mean, come on.
Oh, okay. All right.
It's still the Golden State
That's fair.
invitation.
And it's July. So what about Boston? According to ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski, the Celtics consider their top 5 players off limits in any trade discussions with the Spurs, but they could make a pick-heavy offer. If the teams could make it work, how do you think Kawhi could fit in with that young core?
He can fit in pretty much anywhere. Like I said, he's going to be an asset wherever they choose to allow him to go. And particularly with that young team, that nucleus, where you have Kyrie Irving, who's been playing amazingly well, was hindered by the injuries, but he's going to be back completely healthy. You got Jaylen Brown, and most importantly, Tatum. The things that he showed, in that stretch and in that run in the Eastern Conference, it's been amazing. So you put Kawhi Leonard with the mesh of that talent, scary.
And such a defensive-minded team.
Yes.
What a perfect fit. But Philadelphia, perhaps? Jordan Schultz of Yahoo Sports has reported the Spurs asked the Sixers for 3 future first-round draft choices, along with 2 current players. Quite the haul. But do you think that Kawhi could make that team the immediate Eastern Conference favorites?
I sure do. And if he was able to go to this team and they're able to acquire someone like a Kawhi Leonard, a championship pedigree, a guy that's a two-way player that can pretty much do and seize the moment, that's exactly what was missing last season. Look, if Ben Simmons developed a jump shot sometime in that series against Boston, they would have, moved past, but that was not the case. And if you have Kawhi Leonard on that team, he can close the games and get you through the series.
And an added veteran presence. Speaking of the Sixers, Amir Johnson has agreed to a 1-year deal to return to the team this season. Meanwhile, Jabari Young told us July 2nd that as long as the Spurs have not yet traded Kawhi, there's hope that things could be repaired. He went on to say if the Spurs don't find a deal good enough for them, Kawhi will be back in San Antonio for another season. Do you think at this point this relationship could still work?
Listen, I feel like a lot of things is up in the air and at stake, but a supermax contract, $200+ million, that's tough to turn down. No state tax, being in San Antonio, I mean, look, it's tough to turn that down. However, a lot of things have been said, been questioned, him not wanting to play with that team. And I think you just can't come back from that. It's a lot of things that happened that was damaging. And, you just want to move on and move forward with your career. And yeah, I think that's where he's at right now from a mindset standpoint.
Then if you're San Antonio, if you're in the front office of this franchise, at what point do you make a move? At what point do you get this deal done? And what's the urgency at this point?
It is urgency, but at the same time, it's not a rush process. You need to see the lay of the land and see how much can you possibly get for Kawhi Leonard. And that's exactly what they're doing. They're just waiting around, scaling every team, seeing the talent that's out there, seeing the packages that's going to be presented to them. And, they have the talent, they have the guy, they have the carrot, and they're going to sit back and wait, finesse a deal that makes sense for them going forward.
Would you be concerned at all about his sitting out last season for its entirety? Would you be concerned if you didn't make a move that he perhaps would do the same thing?
I don't think so. I think if he lands in a situation where he know that He's going to be acquired. He's going to be appreciated, a fresh start. He's going to come and be a gamer. He's going to play. He's going to provide all the things that we know he can provide, and that's why he's the big carrot on the free agent market right now.
So every team we've talked about is a potential contender, at least in their conference. It could shake out that way. It also may not. Where do you think that he ends up?
I still think he ends up with the Los Angeles Lakers. And that's what I'm hoping.
This season?
I mean, I hope so. I hope that he ends up with the Los Angeles Lakers. They're going to have to give up a wealth of young talent, the nucleus, the foundation to get him. And if that's the case, you know, I wouldn't give up the whole team for Kawhi Leonard, and that's where they stand right now.
Well, but if you're the Lakers, why not wait until he's a free agent next summer, knowing that he'll likely pick your team anyway? Why give up so many assets?
That is a process that you do have to sit on, and you have to let it marinate. And, you know, that's the luxury of having LeBron James already signed on for a long-term deal where, you know, okay, look, we got him. This year, we're definitely going to make the playoffs, plus 13 to 15 wins with LeBron James on that roster. And we have the time with him to finally get a guy like Kawhi Leonard on the team in free agency next summer without giving up pretty much anything.
How does it benefit the Spurs, if at all, to give him what he wants at this point?
Yeah, I think it's not a win for anyone at this point. And I think it's going to be just a bad breakup, and unfortunately that happens. But they're still connected, you know, forever. They won a championship together. You can't tell the story of basketball without mentioning Kawhi Leonard when you're talking about the San Antonio Spurs. Finals MVP, a true champion. So it's just sad to see this happen at this point.
Well, after the break, the best in the draft are making their debuts, so we'll discuss the stars at Summer League and what to watch for next. And what to watch for in Vegas, we welcome our John Schumann of NBA.com. Let's start at the top. The first overall pick, DeAndre Ayton. He's making his son's debut Friday. What, John, are the realistic expectations for that Summer League stint?
Steve, you never know what guys are going to be able to do from game to game. I think with any rookie, you're going to have highs and lows. But I think it's just be good to see Ayton in an NBA environment, see how he can operate with the additional space that comes with playing in the NBA. And then also seeing the other end of the floor, you know, how well he defends in space and how well, you know, he can move his feet because, you know, that is the big question for him, you know, coming into the league, is the defensive end of the floor. And that's obviously critical for big men today, is to be able to step out and defend guards on pick and rolls and switch. And so I think that'll be something just to keep an eye on, you know, in his first couple of games.
So which of the Summer League sophomores are the ones we should be watching?
Well, it's interesting. There are 7 guys who were drafted in the top 20 last year who played less than 1,000 minutes. Now, 2 of those guys are not going to be playing in Summer League. Markelle Fultz, I think the Sixers are holding out, and then Justin Patton, who's dealing with more injuries, and obviously off to a tough start to his career. But the other 5 guys, I think, are guys to watch. You know, you have Malik Monk in Charlotte, who, you know, had a chance in the rotation last year, but did not, you know, was out of the rotation for most of the year. And Charlotte didn't have a very good bench, so it was interesting that, you know, he sort of lost trust in Steve Clifford. Jonathan Isaac, the number 6 pick from last year, was dealing with injuries, played less than 600 minutes last year. TJ Leaf in Indiana, you know, be interesting to see if he can crack the Pacers rotation this year. DJ Wilson in Milwaukee, another one who barely played last year. And then Harry Giles, who's been playing in the Sacramento Summer League. I mean, this is a guy that was, you know, the number 1 player in his class, you know, a few years ago, and because of injuries fell to the number 20 pick and did not play at all last year. So I think he's a guy to watch. 3 of those guys, Giles, Patton, actually 4 of them, Leaf and Wilson, are all 6'10", you know, forwards, you know, that could be sort of the versatile forward that teams are looking for this year. And I think, you know, those are guys to keep an eye on and see if they can sort of take the next step.
What then is the most noticeable difference in Summer League performances between that rookie and then sophomore showing?
Well, I think, you know, with guys not only having a year of experience on the floor, but also in the film room, they should be able to see things better, read defenses, read offenses better. On the offensive end of the floor, guys that are handling the ball should be able to read defenses better and make better decisions. On the defensive end of the floor, guys should be familiar with the actions that are being run and know what's happening, know where to be defensively. So I think it's as much of a physical thing. I think you're going to see some of these guys have bulked up. I think it's also a mental thing where, like I said, they've had a year in NBA film rooms to really understand NBA basketball and the actions on both ends of the floor that they have to be ready for.
You all can follow John's NBA coverage at NBA.com and follow him on social media at John Schumann. Thanks, John.
All right, Kristen.
So how much stock do you put in Summer League performances?
I put a lot of stock in it because I think it's important for guys. Look, you're going to get out there on the platform. You're going to get adjusted to the timing. And it's a transition for a lot of guys, some tougher than others. But, the physicality of the game, the length of other players, adjusting to the pace of the game. And then, you might play back-to-backs, or you're going to play 3-4 games within 6 days, and that's totally different from the collegiate level. So it's a huge difference, and I do put a lot into that.
Is there a rookie or a free agent, perhaps, that you're excited to watch in Summer League?
I'm really excited to watch Mo Bamba.
Yes, me too.
Because his versatility, I look at him, and I had a chance to spend some time with him away from the basketball court, talking to him about basketball and preparation and the business side of things. But seeing his development, on the fly, working with Kevin Garnett and all these guys, where he's shooting the ball, he's stretching guys out on the perimeter, putting the ball on the floor. His strength isn't there yet, but he has a wealth of talent.
So what do you watch for in this young talent? What are the skills that you think translate well to the NBA?
I think just the feel of, being a gamer. I'm not a super analytical guy. I know guys, look at numbers and it's like, well, he shot 4 for 20 in this spot and 60% over here. But I'm a guy, if you're a gamer and you know how to play, whatever it is, if you possess it, you have it, it's going to come out in fruition at some point. And that's what I see with a young fella like Trae Young. I see him getting the opportunities, adjusting to the length. He's getting the shot opportunities, not falling yet for him, but at some point those shots are going to fall, and he's going to make a huge transition.
Do you have any memory? Does anything stand out to you about your Summer League stint?
Yeah, this, film session. This, I came in with the Miami Heat. So I was learning, with Eric Spoelstra and Stan Van Gundy. I'm talking about he goes over the same play 10 times. And, the legendary, the godfather of the game, Pat Riley. Just the importance of film and understanding where your placement is at and the angles of the court, so detailed with everything. But it helped me throughout the rest of my career. Was
there anything that stood out that you recognized immediately? This has to change before I get to the NBA.
Yeah, your body. Yeah. Your body and understanding that it is a grind, and you have to understand that what you put in is what you put out. And, taking care of your tempo for the duration of the long haul and the marathon of the season is extremely important. So you can't live in drive-thrus. You got to understand that you got to put different things in your body, and that was the most important.
Despite your business background.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Just put that out there.
To give some advice to these young guys that are going to be playing for the first time. They're making a professional basketball debut, and they might be watching this program. What would you tell them?
Look, be open to all things, and conductive criticism is extremely important. Understanding that, look, you have a wealth of wisdom and knowledge around you, and these guys are going to put you in a situation to be a better version of yourself, and you have to understand that. And if you don't, ask some of the vets that's going to be around and assisting, the organizations, because you're probably not going to hear all the things that you're used to hearing, the rah-rah, the noise, and people pumping you up, but they're pumping you up in a different way because they're helping you be a better version of yourself.
I'm telling you, listen to this man. I usually do. Well, after the break, we are approximately 3 days into this season Summer League, but we're throwing it back to the best dunks, to take place in July.
His ability defensively.
Oh, look at that! Brent Robinson the third with the crossover.
As they almost take it away from Morrow. All the way down and thrown down by Anthony Randolph with 0.4 of a second to go.
He's got some length, doesn't he?
19, and that's going to come. But he has a great sense for the game. He has a great sense for the game. He can pass, he can shoot, he runs the floor, he's athletic, he contests every shot.
Smart man, get that relationship with the hit.
Look out below.
Gets a hand on that one. See if Chris challenges. Jake Lehman. Oh, hard landing. Wanted to foul. What a throwdown by Jake Lehman.
Proving yourselves, Clyde. These D-League select players are rolling right now. They've got something to prove.
And obviously, Gasol has tweeted out that he's going there.
Shannon Brown. Hello. Yes! Elevation. Wow, what an athlete, Shannon Brown.
And another guy that got some quality minutes this year for Cleveland. Again, when guys get those opportunities, they get great confidence.
It's all even after the Jones free throws at 30. And it's going to be Daniels throwing it down. And hopefully Darius Miller's okay the way he went down. So the first poster of this game. Chris Singleton climbs. Trying to get it to end one right. And on the break, Iyenga again. And over Hilton Armstrong. Guy can get up there. Good call. Overall chemistry because Derek Fisher's no longer there. He was there at the start of last season. Good half. Reeves Nelson and throw it down. Iyenga. Summer League, forget it. Mid-season, Iyenga. That was serious.
Welcome. Matthews on another wing, and you have the Marcus come down the middle.
Oh, my goodness.
No, he didn't.
You see Chauncey Billups on
His first professional experience. Aaron Griffin out of Campbell University, a rookie.
He needed to get out here and get something special to get, to get.
Mike Taylor to Blake Griffin.
Good decision by Mike there, figuring out the #1 pick in the draft was running the left wing, and he might want to give the ball up.
An environment like this, not too many people know who Greg Steenstra is.
Hey, watch your head. Watch your head. But see, listen, and we got to cut you off on that, right? Because basically you were talking this guy up.
Like good defense. Cartier Martin with a good play. And the finish by JaVale McGee. So Martin does the dirty work, gets down on the ground.
All the way. Reggie Jackson. And a foul. Oh, my goodness. This place has erupted.
Cook, not shy. Mid-range jumper. No.
Put up over everybody.
Looking up. Reggie Jackson. Yes. For Dakota.
Yes. That's an easy assist.
Here Jackson knows she's got a guy on a trampoline, and he set him up beautifully.
Nick Johnson.
He and all the Lakers, they missed 17. Oh, man. Jeremy Grant caught a body under the rim and put Subas right through it.
McLemore lights up the day in Vegas.
Long lead pass, a beauty up top. Two-hand reverse slam dunk.
Oh, Temple Spurs. With 6 minutes to go in this game. And
Simmons. High and mighty. Jonathan Simmons. Who's had a couple of exclamation points in his run here in Vegas.
Okay, so for dunks in July, it's pretty impressive, right?
That's better than if you look back at some of the dunk contest dunks right there.
It's true. I've said that a number of times. The in-game, the Summer League, the All-Star Game dunks are significantly better than the dunk contest dunks.
Young legs. That's all I can say.
Nice.
Young legs.
Must be nice. Was there any that stood out to you in particular?
Yeah, I had to say the Collins dunk. That was just so disrespectful.
Wow,
You look
it
at
was.
Blake Griffin catching the lob, and
That
then
too.
LeBron, obviously, flushing it, spiking it.
Yeah, I think what stood out to me is men my age with highlights in standard definition prior to HD. Well, NBA.com/Summer League is your home for highlights, scores, schedules, and more. It's a one-stop shop for everything you need to know until July 17th. Free agent fever continues after the break with one that, well, could be a free agent in the year 2040 or so. I did the math. Congrats, Currys. We'll be right back. July 2nd, the Currys' first son arrived. Steph announced the arrival Wednesday, saying, "On this journey, on this quest, protect me. I'm blessed." Congratulations, Aisha, Steph. Welcome to the world, Canon.
Congratulations, Curry family. Fourth splash brother right there.
I know. Well, at the buzzer, how could we as Americans celebrate our independence without the gluttony of hot dog guzzling? Joey Chestnut went for his 11th title in 12 years at the Nathan's famous hot dog eating contest. He downed 74 dogs. 74 in 10 minutes.
Not one, not two, not three, 4, 5.
74. Come on. And it was for only $10,000 was the prize.
I ain't going. That just looked like the stomach hurts.
You're going to have to be more than that. I mean, right? If you were given 10 minutes, how many could you?
2 times.
I don't think I've had 74 in my life.
I only eat 2 in 10 minutes.
Goodness. For
I'm a fan
Ron,
of hot dogs.
I'm Kristen.